sexy.
Did you know, Shawn Michaels started contemplating his second retirement after his match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. According to his book, Wrestling for My Life, Michaels wasn't sure he could top that match, and he didn't feel the urge to pursue more great matches. The idea of Shawn Michaels having a rematch with The Undertaker, with his career on the line, first came to light when Michael PSAs, a retired wrestler and WWE producer, brought the idea to Michaels, a little while before Michaels' SummerSlam 2009 return. He also stated that it wouldn't have to be a true retirement by finding a creative way around it for Shawn Michaels to come back and continue to perform. The decision to have a rematch wasn't made until December of 2009 on Raw when Shawn Michaels accepted his Slammy Award for the Match of the Year. In fact, it was still being decided whether or not Michaels should have a rematch with The Undertaker literally while Triple H was presenting the award, just minutes before Michaels came out. Shawn Michaels was still in talks with Vince McMahon and Michael Hayes whether Michaels should make a challenge when he accepted the award. Shawn Michaels felt confident in a second match, and Michael Hayes eventually came around, but Vince McMahon still wasn't sure. Ultimately, McMahon let Michaels decide, so obviously Michaels went ahead and made the challenge after accepting his Slammy Award. Since the final decision was made minutes before it was made public, Undertaker would have found out at the same time as the fans and viewers. Going back to Shawn Michaels' first retirement match in 1998 at WrestleMania 14, there was a moment that wasn't supposed to happen. After Shawn Michaels lost to Steve Austin, Mike Tyson, who was the special guest enforcer, would knock Michaels out after Michaels started arguing with him. What wasn't supposed to happen was Mike Tyson dropping a Steve Austin t-shirt on Michaels. Originally, the t-shirt drop was planned to happen, but Michaels thought it was insulting to his career, especially since this was supposed to be his last match. Michaels actually threatened to walk out until he was told the t-shirt drop would not happen. Unbeknownst to Shawn Michaels, Mike Tyson was still planning to drop the t-shirt in order to help solidify Steve Austin as the new face of the WWE. Michaels was so upset he was going to interrupt the press conference between Mike Tyson and Steve Austin. However, Shane McMahon stopped Michaels before he could make a scene and was able to convince him to not interrupt the conference. In an interview on the Sam Roberts Wrestling podcast, Shawn Michaels mentioned that he always tries to stay in TV shape, as he put it, despite retiring from in-ring competition. This came from his WrestleMania 32 appearance, where he came out alongside Mick Foley and Stone Cold Steve Austin, in his traditional wrestling attire. According to the interview, Michaels was contacted 6 months before WrestleMania and asked to come out in his gear and without any shirt on. Since then, Michaels has decided to stay fit for television in case of any more appearances. Despite being a first-generation wrestler, Shawn Michaels' family has a bit of a wrestling background. His wife, Rebecca Kersey, worked for WCW between 1997 and 1998 as a Nitro Girl. The Nitro Girls were a team of dancers that perform on WCW's flagship show, Nitro, hence the name. Shawn Michaels first noticed her while watching the show. Rich Meinzer, a friend of Michaels, owned the Gold's Gym in Venice, California, where some of the WCW wrestlers like to work out. While talking to Michaels, he offered to try to get him Rebecca Kersey's phone number, and after a little convincing, he's able to get a hold of it. Her job as a Nitro Girl did cause some problems. Kersey had signed a 3-year contract with WCW, and it wouldn't expire until 2000. After negotiations, WCW decided to let her out of her contract early, with the stipulation that she couldn't work for the WWE for the remainder of her contract, even though there were never plans for her to appear in the WWE. The two got married in March of 1999 in Las Vegas, Nevada, with only an Elvis Presley impersonator as their witness. Interestingly enough, Shawn Michaels' two friends, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, who both worked for WCW at the time, did not know of their relationship. Shawn Michaels' cousin, Matt Bentley, is also a professional wrestler, and was actually trained by Michaels himself. He's most well known for his time in TNA, where he won the X Division Championship 2 times. He originally used the name Michael Shane, as a reference to his cousin, Shawn Michaels. However, in July of 2005, he was forced to stop using the name due to legal threats made by WWE. This was because WWE had trademarked the name for one of their wrestlers called Mike Shane, who wrestled as a part of the tag team Gemini. He then started performing under his real name, Matt Bentley. His contract with TNA expired in 2007 and wasn't renewed, but he has made 2 appearances for the company since then, one in 2011 and one in 2013. Just like his cousin, Bentley has also wrestled for WWE. In 2002, he performed in a handful of matches on Sunday Night Heat and Velocity, often losing to more established talents. He also wrestled one match for the company in 2008. It was on SmackDown, where he lost against the debuting Vladimir Kozlov. In October of 2007, on Raw, John Cena suffered a torn pectoral muscle and was out for the rest of the year. Shawn Michaels, who was out of action with a knee injury, was asked to come back 2 weeks early. Michaels agreed and made his return 1 week after Cena was taken out. Michaels had gotten into hunting at the time and decided to wear a cowboy hat, boots, and a camouflage vest to make his return in. Before the show, Vince McMahon and Michaels got into an argument about the attire. McMahon was against Michaels' choice of attire, but Michaels stood his ground and ultimately won the argument. Shortly thereafter, McMahon had a change of opinion and started selling Shawn Michaels-inspired cowboy hats. Did You Know Wrestling is inspired by Did You Know Gaming, so give them a look. Also, to be the first to know when new episodes of Did You Know Wrestling are out, subscribe to Tap Out Corner. And while you wait, check out our video on Sasha Banks. This has been Zach, and I'll catch you later.